Hey guys, I just wanted to address one more thing. This is for those of you that are subscribers but aren't clients and are not following me on Reddit and stuff like that. So, I got an email from one subscriber today asking about a spell they ordered from someone else and what that spell means. So obviously, you should ask the caster what the spell means. It's their spell. It's not my spell. So we all have our spells that are our personal spells that we developed ourselves, right? The legit ones. I hope this one is a legit caster. So we know the best what our spells mean, and you should ask that person, not me. I can't know what their spell means just by saying the name of the spell. Also, different types of magic spells are gonna be customized by different spellcasters and different just traditions, different beliefs. It's impossible for me to know what this specific caster does with this specific spell. I can just briefly know from the meaning, of course, but I don't know exactly what this caster would do and how and why. It's his spell or her spell. I don't know if it's male or female caster. It's their spell basically. It's not my spell. I can only talk about my spells and my beliefs and my practice. I can't speak about other casters' practices, and I don't even know the caster or anything about the caster. And even if I did, I would not do that because you should ask your spellcaster, okay? So you can't ask some other random spellcaster what something else means, okay? So you ordered a spell from this caster, you should ask beforehand what it's about if you didn't understand it, so they can explain it to you. It's bizarre to me to even get such requests. So please, if something is unclear, ask your spellcaster. If you think it's a scammer, then yes, you can ask me. But it's a bit different then, obviously, than if you ask about a specific spell. I can't tell from that whether a person is a scammer or not, right? So this specific question was about binding spells. And again, I don't know how this caster performs them, what are beliefs behind it, what's the tradition. I can tell you that I myself don't do bindings. My clients know this. I have my own opinion about them, obviously, which doesn't mean that someone else can't have different opinion and can't perform them. So personally, there are two. In magic, this is a controversial thing, bindings, especially binding an X. And this is because there are two beliefs. One is that you can bind an X, and the other one is that you can't bind someone you are not with. And I am with this group. So for me, it's simply logical that if you are apart and not together, you can't bind the person. You have to bring them back with a spell. That's how you go about this. You don't bind a person that you're not with to you, because how can you bind something you don't have? You know, it's just like binding is like, for example, like marriage ceremony. How can you have a ceremony of a marriage if you are not in a relationship with a person and you're not engaged, for example, and you're not meant to get married, right? So how can you, it's kind of, to me, like those affirmations those coaches give you. Ted and I are married, and Ted and you are actually broken up. So your brain does not accept that, and therefore, like in the magical energetical world, I just don't see that as a possibility. And that's my personal opinion and my personal experience. So I don't want to mess in other people's traditions because I know they differ. I don't want to bash on anyone's traditions and practices, but I'm just telling you from my point of view. If you're not together, you can't bind them. They're not yours to bind. You're not together. You're not energetically together. You're not together in the 3D. You are apart. You can't bind something you don't have. Okay. It's kind of like if you want to put a certain amount of money in a safe, you know, bind it in a safe, put it in a safe, keep it in a safe. And if you don't have that amount of money, you cannot put it in a safe, right? You cannot. So just logically think about it. That's just my view of magic. Like I say, is very based on science, on facts, and I'm just taking the logical route of things, and everything can be explained logically, and that is how I learned magic personally. So in my opinion, you cannot bind an ex because you don't have this ex to bind. So you can't bind together two people that are apart. It just doesn't work. And then I also have opinion about binding people that are in a relationship. I don't do that either, but that's a whole other story, and I don't think those things work. And they just simply can't. And it's again a logical thing, but that's not the topic. It's a long story again. So, in my opinion, binding an ex is not even an option. Okay, not even an option. So, again, I'm not telling anyone anything against people that do ex bindings because, like I said, there are let's say two sides in magical community. One says yes, the other one says no, not possible. And I'm with that one. And in my opinion, and just with me, how I learned magic, because as you know, I think magic is science. I mean, I know magic is science. So just with more scientific magician practitioners, it's something that can't be done. Okay. So yeah, that's my personal opinion, my personal advice, if you want, for anyone who would, consider these spells. Of course, everyone does what they want. There are magicians that are more non-science based, and I mean that's fine. I don't know, but I'm totally into scientific view, and this is just how it is. Can't ban someone you don't have.